If you're planting vegetables this season, we've got you covered.
On this segment of Wellness Wednesday, Sara Maslar-Donar finds out what you need to know about growing food for better health here in southern Wisconsin.
Whether you're new to vegetable planting or you already have quite a green thumb, there is always a lot to learn. Today, Megan Tim joins us. Not only is she the Director of Community Health for SSM Health, she also owns her own farm. So Megan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk to you. So it's that time of year where people are planning to plant, or maybe they're already getting seeds in the ground. We're in zone 4, so how would that impact our gardens?
Absolutely, great question. So if you plant too early, right before your zone is ready to accept plants into your garden, they could freeze at night, and that could ruin the whole thing. So it's really important to look at your zone and look at those freezing temperatures at night still, and maybe delay yourself a little bit before you put anything in the ground. So in Madison, like you mentioned, we are in zone 4, which means that we're usually safe to plant the weekend after Mother's Day is how we usually think about that. Sometimes folks want to delay into Memorial Weekend, have themselves a little bit more time to get things in the ground, and you're usually safe about that time.
Okay, that's great advice, Megan. And so let's move on to the things that we're planting. Which would you say are the healthiest vegetables for us and why?
Oh, it's the common question, right? I often tell, especially parents, the healthiest vegetables are the ones your kids are going to eat. And so let's start there, right? But really, planting vegetables that your family likes and enjoys is always the best bet. So yes, of course, we want more nutrient-dense vegetables, like broccoli is packed full of good stuff. So is spinach. Our greens are really good. But you really want to eat the rainbow. So if you can plant different colored of peppers and you can try something new, maybe you want to plant kohlrabi this year or get a little creative in your garden. Tomatoes are always a great bet. They can go into everything from pastas to salsas to just on a sandwich, right? So the versatility of a vegetable is really important beyond that health and nutrient value as well.
My dad grows cherry tomatoes every single year in his garden. It's like his pride and joy. I go home for the weekend. He's like, you want some cherry tomatoes? And I'm like, yes, delicious and healthy.
For sure. And he's probably trying to get rid of some of them for you.
He always has so many. He's like, do you want 50? I'm like, okay, sure.
Right.
So Megan, what are some veggies that are easy to grow?
Yeah, potatoes are usually a pretty easy vegetable to grow. I admit that I haven't always been the most successful with potatoes, but you can plant those a little earlier. You don't have to worry about those frosts as much with a potato. They're a fairly easy plant. They're hardy, they're sturdy, they can withstand a lot. Some of our other vegetables that are easier to grow, once you get good hardy tomatoes started, the starts are really the important piece, but then tomatoes can kind of take off as well. Spinach can be good as long as there's not too much heat and sun on them. So it really depends on the location of your garden and the amount of water that we get in the summer and the time and attention you can spend on it.
Last question for you, Megan. What would you say is the most important thing to keep in mind if you're just starting out?
Don't get too caught up in your garden. Failure is okay. Allow yourself to fail. You'll learn something from it and you can start fresh the next year. So it can be hard and a little heartbreaking sometimes when you lose a plant, but don't quit just because something didn't work out this year. Try again.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for joining us on this segment of Wellness Wednesday. A lot of good stuff to take away from this.
Thanks so much.